like putting myself on the grill,
right?
Just so y'all don't feel like I'm just bashing people, okay? If you don't like a dude with a bald head, you don't like a dude with a beard, you might not like light-skinned guys. You might not like black dudes in general.
Yeah.
Okay, then you're not for. Why would I be offended that you don't like light-skinned guys? Your loss. Point blank, period. But men just react to things a little differently. So yeah, we're not going up to girls saying, no, we don't.
I think there's a little bit more grace from women. Women tend to, when men approach, if they do not fall completely within their category, I do believe women are a bit more graceful, because you could be missing out on a great thing. And you could know that you know that you know. Like I tend to say, I know I want this type of man, and those men don't approach me. They don't. And so off approach, I have to work within what's being sent my way. So that one's a bit tricky, but I do believe if you do, so say for example, you start dating a woman and you notice she starts picking up weight, it's a simple conversation. It's not offensive, but you also want to go within the confounds of one, research, ask what was the previous standpoint. Some people are truly depressed and they, one, don't know it or don't have language for it, or two, can't really necessarily explain it. And then you go from there, and it could be something, a place to help. It, it doesn't have to be a letdown, a complete sis, you ex, and Lil Mac too. I ain't never liked him no way. Like, he always asking to play games on my phone. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, also, to round off the weight point, regardless of men, regardless of dating, this is why I made sure to do the health research about being, regardless if you don't want to date men at all. For yourself, you should be in good shape, or physically, or just healthy. Let's just go healthy. You don't got to be a gym rat. You don't got to do all that. Be healthy. Watch what you put inside of your mouth. That's all. That you should be doing that for you. I just named it, and then my opinions are about dating, but everything I said before that only pertain to your health for living on Earth. That's it. That's why I separated the two.
Yeah. And I think that's good, because I have girlfriends of mine whose significant others want them to be healthy. And they say, hey, like, have you considered this? Have you considered colonics? Like, these are things that I want you to do for longevity and for health. I know when we met, this is what we were doing. We went on a bunch of dates. And fellas, be honest. Y'all take us on all kind of dates. All we do is eat. And y'all get finer. And we gain weight. And then you want a baby. And then you pop the baby. And then you want another baby. And we pop that baby. And then you like, let's go to Jamaica. It's like, bruh. How am I going to do that? So I think just being, and that's where I pull the complimentary part in, being complimentary on the goal. The goal is for us to both be healthy. The goal is for us both to look beautiful. The both, that's the ultimate goal. So that's my weight rank. That's my weight rank, because
does a woman decide her worth? Do you put the price tag on yourself in the open dating market?
So I heard you say that, and I cringed. I cringed for a couple of reasons, because what you did is you said you took something that was super important, and you was like, well, I'm worth $1 million. And I was like, aw. So
I mean, if we just decided on worth, then I mean, fuck it. I started off small, 1.5 million. I could have chose anything.
You could have. I noticed. Okay, so when I hear the phrase that I decide my worth, I'm thinking true characteristics, value sets, morals. I'm considering integrity. I'm considering quality of life. I'm not thinking outer. I'm really not. When I hear I decide my worth, and I do, I'm one of those people that says, I want to be with a spectacular type of person. I want to be with a person who's very peculiar, who doesn't really do what other people do. And that's because that's who I am as a person.
So why would you, because I heard you and I get it, but why would you decide your worth on the open market with something that, or would you trump it up with something that we're not buying?
What do you mean?
So that's like, I put something on eBay. So let's say this, and this might be a horrible analogy, but it's the best one I can think of.
Okay, I'm nervous.
you're selling something that little kids, you're selling like little Uzi Vert tickets to senior citizens.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You're selling something that you're promoting it to a community that's not buying that.
So I get what you're saying. So the product doesn't align with the price point.
No, that's not. You're saying integrity, whatever type of Sleepless in Seattle stuff you said after that. That's not what we're not buying that.
So okay, so one thing I don't know. I can speak to a different. I believe the crowd that we have is quite cerebral. So these are people who've done self-work. These are people who have looked deep within themselves and they know what they're selling. I'm a person who believes that I will never sell you on anything that I am not. I will never convince you to believe that I'm something that I am not. And so when I think of it in that aspect, then I am absolutely selling to my market. Mm-hmm. I'm absolutely selling to my market. And if I'm going to sell to my market, I know the value. And I think that's where those little sayings where people are like, know yourself, know your worth. Like it's a simple saying.
That's true though.
But it's big, right? Like this is a huge saying. So when you say know your worth, like I know I may not be a size 6 all my life, but I know that I bring a lot to the table. I know that I am willing to stay in it for the long haul. So when I say I determine or decide my worth, or when that saying is put on a t-shirt, know that there was so much more depth in there that happened. And then when I presented it to the open market, I knew that there was a specialty niche. I knew that my audience was specific.
Like some specific thing, yes.
It's it's specific. So mm-hmm. I do believe like we deal with in pop culture that we hear things like know your worth and everyone wants to get it and they don't do the work. But for the people who do the work, they know like know your worth, or I set my own standard. And for that community of people, I do believe that you can decide because you know where your flaws are, but you also know where your assets are. You know what's a liability, you know what's an asset, and you're willing to walk into dating with that. If that makes sense. Yeah.
Do you believe a 44-year-old woman with 2 kids has the same suitors as a 29-year-old woman with no kids? They look the same.
I think that's a tough question, only because I don't believe a 40, you said 41?
42.
42. A 42-year-old woman, and adding context. So if I were 42 at that time with all the travel, and I love how you said she's going to sun you because
she's already done it.
It already happened. So if this is a 42-year-old woman with a certain economic status and a certain level in career, then I don't think that woman would be attracted to the man who's attracted to the 29-year-old or for longevity. And what I'm saying is for longevity.
What? Are you serious?
What I'm saying is,
yeah, clean that one up.
I'm a clean as best as I can.
That's
what
tough.
I'm saying is that that man who may want that 29-year-old or may be looking for some fun. And some fun can be, y'all know how y'all brothers are. Y'all have fun for 5 years. But for commitment.
That's very judgmental right there. You just cast an aspersion. No, hold on. I'm gonna tell you what you did. I'm gonna tell you what you did though.
Okay.
What you did is you separated the 29-year-old from marriage, from anything serious. You put it. Hold on. If you go back, you'll see that you said that the 42-year-old wouldn't even be attracted to a man that's attracted to a 29-year-old because the 29-year-old is just there for fun. He just has to have fun with a 29-year-old.
No. Contrary. I'm saying that the man that selects the woman, his mindset determines where that woman goes. Women aren't getting on their knees. Not all women are getting on their knees saying, will you marry me? A man decides when they're going to marry a woman. So if that man is in a different mindset and is with this woman for 29, if he don't deem her marriage material, she won't be a wife to him, is what I'm saying.
That's general. That's general.
That's why I said, and if a man wants to be with her and wants to have fun, then a man gonna be with her and he's gonna want to have fun. However, a man at the end of the day, when they are ready to be with a consistent person, they will go with someone who is a bit more stable. That 42-year-old woman whom, let me give you the context, whom has a career and or maybe an entrepreneur or has had done something for a significant amount of time, hold on, and may have all these different areas. And it's, we'll go that route is what I'm saying.
Okay, because but I don't think that's fair, because you're adding a lot of accolades on the 42-year-old and you're leaving the 29-year-old where she stands, as I left it. You put a bunch of things on the 42-year-old that I didn't put on her as a positive, but you left the 29-year-old where I left her. I want you to make the 29-year-old and the 42-year-old the same person. Just one has 2 kids, the other doesn't have any.
Yeah, honestly, I do. Honestly, I'd love to answer that answer. That's why I added so much context to give you a straight answer. However, I do believe that there are just 2 significantly different mindsets when it comes to a woman who is 29 and a woman who is 42.
Who do you think has a bigger pool?
It honestly, I'm going to go back to your algorithm of a workout, your algorithm of health, your algorithm of beauty, your algorithm of, and I don't even know, and maybe you didn't have this algorithm, but tenacity and being able to go after it and get it. You'd be surprised. You'd really truly be surprised.
All right. This one seems a little hard for you. It's cool.
It's not hard. It's not hard.
I get it. I get it.
No, because when I have to speak from a place of like, I'm considering our audience. When I was 29, I had already owned a home. I had already had 2 degrees. I had already had certificates. But then I also was ready to be married, but I also was in the streets, like either or.
It's cool.
So I can't really.
I got it. Hey, look, guess what? I'm going to substitute the hard question for an easy one. Get you started, maybe. You know how them old cars with a carburetor, you got to kind of pump on and kind of hit.
Yeah.
Anywho, so there's a man who's a, no, I can't do that. There's a man who works at the Dollar Tree, have less or more options when it comes to women as a stockbroker.
I think that's a tough one to answer too, because there's some other I know what you want me to say, and I can do that. I
just do it. No one. This is easy. This is 1 plus 1.
Obviously, a man who works at Dollar Tree versus a stockbroker's options are much different. Okay.
That was easy, right? That was easy.
Obviously.
Notice.
However, I don't, and I think that's where it's always that the male versus the female is that women do a lot more digging than men.
A lot more what?
A lot more digging, like a lot more digging to find the root to what it is, where men are, not to say y'all are superficial at all, but y'all do start and stop at the physical. Like you say, oh, she bad, I'm gonna go find out. Oh, she not bad, I don't care. You walking past a millionaire.
So what? We don't, I mean, most of us don't want a millionaire per se. We don't think like that.
Right, but it's fine. But so when you say the man who works at Dollar Tree, this man could have moved up because a family member wasn't well in the middle of a pandemic and I'm speaking from experience.
Y'all don't care about that. You see how you didn't trump none of that stuff on him earlier. It was easy as 1, 2, 3. You said obviously it's a stockbroker. You didn't say, oh, the Dollar Tree nigga might have been more physically fit. He may be loving, caring. He may know how to basket weave. You didn't throw none of that on there. Well, you said simple, cut and dry, the stockbroker.
Well, when you said you wanted the straight answer, I said the obvious answer is that, right? However, I don't think I don't know, for the female community, the women don't make a decision, and that's why I said women are more graceful when it comes to their selection process and how they deal with men and how they date. I think there's a little bit more digging. Why are you at Dollar Tree? Are you in a transitioning season? What have you done prior to? Where do you plan on going? Whereas if a man is a physical person, it will not speak to you unless you are physically appeasing to my eyes, which is understandable because men go after women. Hey, shorty, let me holler at you. If that guy has to say, hey, shorty, let me holler at you, but she's not physically appealing, you walking past a millionaire. You don't know, right? And so that's the difference between men and women, I believe. True difference.
So we still don't know which one has more or less options between them. Okay, hey, I was just wondering. I think if I got you started, maybe it'd be a little easier to answer. I don't know. Just asking. Just asking.
So you said there was one other place that we had to cover, which was what was your top 5? You said children.
Oh, top 3 is children, weight, and age.
You ready for age?
You know what's a good one about age to start off with?
What?
The older a woman gets, the more mileage that is put on her prized possession.
We're talking about mileage. You didn't tell me that.
Oh, I wanted to save that one.
I see.
Please.
Can I introduce this saying? And my younger sister taught me this saying. She said, and I know, okay, y'all, ladies, stick with me. Fellas, try to stick with me, y'all. Just come on. My younger sister said, whether I had 50 dudes and hit one time or one dude and hit 50 times, it's still the same number. I think that's kind of true. So when we think about mileage.
Oh, you were serious?
Yeah.
I thought that was a joke. You were dead ass. That's the craziest shit I've ever heard. I mean, women can sometimes be so delusional to say something like that, to try to make whatever they're doing that we don't like seem like it's okay. Y'all do a lot of that. The things we don't like, you somehow put some type of twist on it and make it okay. Case in point, I say a woman's too aggressive. You say you too weak to handle me. Things that are bad or not something we don't like, you like to twist it and somehow make it our fault that you're like that and we can't handle it or something. Oh. Yeah, if I have sex with 50 dudes or one dude 50 times, the same thing.
Same number. It's still 50.
Okay.
It's still 50, right?
Okay.
Okay, so let's go back to that. Okay. I mean, in sales, and I believe dating is sales, right? I feel like dating can sometimes be sales. Like, I want to show you these qualities that I know you want. And so in sales, isn't it the man and the woman's job to take an objection, basically a no, and turn it into a yes? So you have 50 partners. Well, 50 partners is the same. Isn't the role to take an objective and turn it into a positive?
So you're somehow trying to glorify a lie? That's what it sounds like.
I'm trying to. No. I am trying to show you. I think we see it in the comments. Like, it's a different perspective, and then seasoned and experienced, right? Isn't that something like
a different perspective would be me and a man having a conversation about how we choose women. That's it. His perspective may be different than mine.
Okay.
I don't care about your perspective on the whole. If I slept with 50 people or one person's the same, you're not the one who makes that decision. If you just said a few minutes earlier, we are the ones picking you to a certain extent. I get you have to confirm, but at the end of the day, we, the person who you like or you find suitable, we still pick you.
Right.
So your perspective, I know this sounds rude or whatever, but it doesn't. If you want to debate about, who's the best rapper alive, that's your perspective compared to mine. We don't have a say so in that.
Perspective is mindset and viewpoint, right? Perspective is viewpoint. So so when we say age, and the higher in age, you have the potential of a higher mileage. I'd even say that's debatable, because on average, and this is a little bit of research, on average, ladies, it says that women rotate between 2 partners a year. That's research. And you're only chuckling like that because I'll text you the answer. But that's No, I'm serious. That's research. Research says that women have up to 2 partners a year. The average woman has two. Now, they have not done numbers for Corona, so ladies, you're safe. You're good with me. But on average, women have 2 partners a year. So if you take a woman who started at 30, you take a woman that started at 30, and she's 42, you do those numbers. I don't want to do math here. I don't want to embarrass myself, but I think that's 12.
Why are you starting women off at 30?
Because those women do exist.
Is that the majority? Or, I mean, if that's the case, start at 40. Because those women do exist too.
Then
if you just want to take any number.
She has 4.
What do you see how you use statistics and facts for to prove your point, but then you just use a one-off of women starting at 30? Go ahead and bring the facts into that too. Start these girls off at 15, 16. Don't start them off at 30. That's unrealistic. And then but you see how starting them off at 15 drastically changes your little math that you try to bring it closer to 30. So at 40, it's not that much. 12. Pull that bad boy back to 15, like you're supposed to have done.
I don't know many women who started at 15.
Go ahead.
Right. I'm sure that's a whole nother heated debate. But I think I'd like to say, who is counting? That's a question. So let's do a better one. So when we think of age, we like to believe age is just a number. I think our sis Aaliyah told us that. Does the number really define women? Does the number really define a man? Because I can see where men get glorified for having a higher number and women are shamed for having a higher number.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we break that barrier? How do we break that issue? Because if a woman has a higher number and she's shamed, and she's less likely to be selected for court. But if she's just sexually free, just like a man is sexually free and he has a higher number, why isn't that?
If I'm sexually free, I have the risk of getting other people pregnant. If you are sexually free, you are the one getting pregnant and left with all the kids, hence one in our category. We don't run that risk. We both run the same risk of, catching something, of course, but as far as the kids factor, you have to bear that burden. Not me.
That's not true. Plan B exists.
My old barber had 10 fucking kids and drove a bicycle. Didn't see much of them as far as him seeing his kids. These women are stuck with the kids, not him. He's at the barbershop riding his bicycle back home and back to work. So, and granted, that's one person. You know what I'm saying? I get it. But
right. He's an outlier. I get it.
Hey, that's cool. It's just a story time. It's just a story time. But at the end of the day, I know you've never had vagina before, I'm assuming, right? I've had it once or twice.
I low-key felt terrible by not responding quick enough. That's accurate.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. I've had it once at least documented, right?
Okay.
So the amount of partners you have, it will deteriorate after a while. All of that stuff don't snap back if you're that active as what you're saying. So that's where all the age and things come into it. Because let's say I'm 36, we will have sex with anybody for the most part, as far as age is concerned. That's where the attraction versus interest comes in my videos. Mm-hmm. If you're in the chat room, mosey over to my Instagram page, click the link in the bio, click the Chris Hall Show, subscribe. Anyway, yeah, that's where the age comes in at, is where if I'm 36, right?
Okay.
I'm going to assume that a 28-year-old, just the furniture, is going to be more intact than a 44-year-old. And let's not just talk about the sexual experience. Let's bring it more to traditional.
Okay.
Having kids in general.
Okay.
That's where I spoke about the actually the weight, the age, and the kids were a part of kids. for the most, there was a piece in there about either having kids or having kids. So yeah, the older the women get, the more, you know, their fertility is at risk. So even in the traditional sense, a man, if he knows this stuff, he may not know. I don't know. I thought that was, you know, self-explanatory or common knowledge, should I say, that he may go for a younger woman, or so maybe a woman his age, if he's 30, 32, whatever, instead of going for a 40-year-old woman. That's what I mean by the pool. Gotcha. The pool is, listen, there's nothing, listen, I am not a high-profile celebrity with millions of dollars, right? So my pool may shorten. It doesn't shorten that much, but I can't be with the A-listers at this point because I'm not an A-lister. So the pool gets shorter. When I say the pool gets more and more shallow, people look at that as a bad thing because no one wants to subtract anything from themselves without them even knowing. What you mean? I can't have all these things.
Rightfully so. And
I get it. It's a human trait.
I not only a human trait, but when you do the work, when you build your confidence, when you have been through life, you've gone through experiences, you don't, when people have take from you all day, you don't want nothing else taking from the equation. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Which is understandable, which is, you know, naturally understandable.
I get it. But the same way the same way y'all judge us, we just judge you a little differently. If I applied myself in middle school, high school, college, I went to an Ivy League school, you know, went to Princeton, Yale, or something like that, and I bossed up completely, and now I'm making, you know, $2 million a year with this marketing company and this, that, and the third. I have done the work. You ever heard of pay the cost to be the boss? Men have to.
I believe I may have heard that in passing.
Cool. men have to do that.
Yeah.
So I don't understand what's the problem with a woman also. And I'm not talking about bossing up in your career and being a boss chick. I ain't gonna lie, boss chick is also a red flag in somebody's profile. That's what you got. A manager don't need to say he the boss. We know that. It's not a I don't know. Anyway, that's a whole nother video that I'm gonna do by myself. But yeah, we have to go through all of these rigmaroles and jump through the ring of fire and this, that. We have to compete, and we have to, you know, listen to our bosses and do all this crazy stuff in order to afford the type of woman that we want.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So why can't we have that? You're pretty much saying, hey, eat shit. This is what you deserve no matter what you did.
Absolutely not.
You're saying, here, take this because this could be a diamond in the rough. I understand you can afford a diamond. Take this dirty shit, clean it off. Mind you, this is figuratively speaking, y'all. Take this, clean it off, and it might be okay.
It could be a canary. So this is what I will say. And I know ladies in the comments and fellas, you guys can understand this as well, is just like y'all work hard, women work equally as hard. You know, women are probably the toughest community to join, possibly the most unforgiving community as well. Not purposely, but we've been through a lot. And so women work hard. We work hard in career. We work hard in fitness. We work hard in childbearing. You want 5, we give you 5. We work hard in growing our edges. That's a tough task. I can count. And
I appreciate it.
You know, like how much castor oil I've bought, you know, so we work hard. And so when I think the toughest thing to take, even out of this entire conversation and just, you know, going forward, you know, as women, you know, working hard, being celebrated, being appreciated is
absolutely
get to a place to where you can at least see beyond this, because we might have had a long day. We might have been tired. We might have not been able to get the brows to be twins and not brother and sister or cousin and uncle. You know what I'm saying? We might have had a day. And in the thought process of, like you said, like a diamond in a rough, no, it may not be a diamond in a rough. You need to dust it off. It could be a canary. However, you might have caught somebody on a bad day, and you could be missing out on one of the greatest things.
Mind you, I'm not talking about a girl that is dressed down today, but is physically fit, is cooperative, is all of these things, but I seen her on Tuesday. I gotta wait till Friday. That's so far from
Right.
the subject at hand. I'm talking about someone who is not these things and doesn't want to be these things either. Because also in one of my points that I didn't necessarily mention at the onset, when it comes to the weight, is some of the things that you can do to still get male attention.
I'm so nervous about this list.
No. Listen, that's how I was. It was a part of the list, but just towards the end, where it came to cooking, your career. Some men may care about that, your attitude, your femininity, cooperation, and being in the gym currently.
Gotcha.
So let's say, boom, you haven't been in the gym. You just started thinking about it during the pandemic because you could hold the weight pre-pandemic, but you sat down and was working from home for almost a year, and now you picked up more pounds to where now you're damn, I can't fit into my clothes anymore, right? Cool, that's fine. But let's say, okay, things are starting to open up now. You got your second vaccine shot. You're feeling a little bit more comfy. You got your summer bod mask. You're going out. You're going to start working out. You start posting gym pics. A dude might meet you in the gym and see you working out. So things like that. If we see that you're trying to do it, there's women who ain't trying to do none of this shit. That goes back to the profile of the person that says, I ain't taking nobody's shit.
So I feel like we have come to a agreement. Christopher, I feel like it. Because in the beginning, you were stone cold. Like, if it don't look like what it need to look like,
you see how it sounds bad, right? It sounds so bad.
I feel like you just said, when we notice you were working. And so when women see that man trying to get promoted from janitor to secretary or from secretary to lead assistant, we notice you are working. And I think that's the grace that we need across the board. Like you said, you was holding your weight well, but then pandemic hit, and you know what? You sat down.
See, and also I'll jump in the comment section. What Beyond the Mat ATL, she says that woman just isn't for you. Then who's she for?
Oh my gosh.
I'm not talking, this isn't my preferences. What I'm saying is for that woman to be the best that she could possibly be. That's what this is all that this whole thing is for, to get everybody on the same accord and do better as a whole. Mind you, a lot of women come in here and they say, what about the men? But the men do this and the men do that and the men do that. Listen, if you want to start a channel that talks about men, have at it. Because like I always say, I'm sorry, I don't date men. So how would I know exactly? Why would I talk about them? Now, mind you, I do talk to men about manly things. Like me and my friend was on the other day talking about the dating app. So I still talk to men. But I'm talking about the experiences that I have being out. I'm not looking at men first, I'm looking at women. And I'm trying to, that's why I try to let you guys know when I put, does this mean if I'm big, I won't be able to find a man? No, that's quite the contrary. You can find a man, but in your head, you might be thinking of, you can have any, there's women who think they can have any man. Oh, I got no problem getting in. A girl told me that the other day. I got no problem.
I'm not gonna lie. I still believe at some point in time, if I can position myself properly, me and Ronald Isley will have some form of communication, and I may be able to entice him.
Ron Isley?
Yes, that is the love of my life.
Ronald Isley. Would you date a man as old as Ronald? Like in general?
I would date Ronald Isley.
Just Ronald Isley, okay.
Specifically, but
that's different. I will say that is different.
That's the goal. That tends to be a little internal goal, but I do believe what we're seeing in the comments is that a little bit of that grace factor, and I think my takeaway would be, the more that you know yourself and know what it is that you offer and know what you can bring, it takes out the conversation of having to force yourself to be more of something that you're not. Like, everybody isn't a gym fitness guru. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not going to be out here doing Kegels in their desk chair trying to keep everything right. Everybody's not taking vinegar baths. Ladies, I'm spilling the tea, okay? My bad. But
Help them out, please. It comes better from you than it comes from me, so.
Okay. So, but what I am saying is that woman who may not be willing to do that or not able to do that may cook a hell of a meatloaf. You know what I'm saying? This woman may do a hell of a job of childbearing and pop 5, 6, 7 kids for you. I will not do that for you. So I think where it comes to is just assessing yourself, knowing where your strengths are, knowing your weaknesses are. If you want that weakness to be a strength, then you work on it. If that weakness is something you cope with, make sure whoever is on that receiving end is okay with that weakness. And the Kegels work, ladies.
And look, this is the thing. And I also said this in one of my other videos about a story time where I was at an establishment with some women that was there. And they fit in some of these categories, and they were downing men. Now, and this goes to the statement of, you know, that this person is just not for you. Somebody else says men go out of their way to humble, confident women. Look, you could be as confident as you want, sis. I don't care how confident you are, but when you may not get the type of man you feel like you deserve if you haven't built your, just like I put myself on a barbecue grill again. I deserve Meg Thee Stallion or somebody. Megan Good. If I can't, but I can't afford Megan Good, but I tell you who I do want. I want Megan I. I may not get Megan Good.
Megan Cool. You want
I
Megan
want
Cool?
Megan I. I want
Megan
Meg the Pony. I want, you know what I'm saying? I want something similar.
Yeah.
If I feel like I'm an attractive person, if I feel like I paid the cost to be the boss, I feel like I have all these accolades, then hey, I can feel like I can get whoever I want at that point. So yes, you can be as confident as you want. You can decide your worth. You can do all of that. Decide it. Go ahead and see how that. If you think you're a 10, this goes for anybody out there, male or female. If you think you're a 10, go out there and try to sell that product. You will be looking like Will Smith in Pursuit of Happiness, at least the first hour and a half.
At least, but he was successful at the last 30 minutes, and that's what matters. Because listen, I like to believe I'm out here with confidence. Let me tell you, when I was growing up, I was awkward looking, and you know what my mom told me to do? First of all, she said, work on your other areas, and she said they talked about Jesus.
Exactly.
And so what makes you
talked about who?
They won't talk about you.
They talked about who?
Jesus.
Oh yes, they did talk about Jesus.
And he was a savior. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm not him. But the good news is while you may not be excelling, and that goes back to the strengths, while that may not be your strength today, does not mean that won't be your strength tomorrow. And while you are working on your strengths, you can work on your weaknesses. So I applaud any woman who is always building their confidence, because believe it or not, what most men stay for, and I know we're talking in the dating phase, but men stay for confidence and security. And I'm not a man. I date men, and my feedback has been your confidence and your security in who you are. And when other women walk by, they might want to look, but they don't linger too long, because they're like, you know what, this woman is confident and secure, and I'm not. That's a factor. But I know we talk about the dating stage. So continue to build that confidence. Continue to go after exactly what you want. And, you know, they say the righteous man falls 7 times, but the just one get up 8. So
amen.
Keep on getting up.
But at the end of the day, if you want a specific, mind you, I'm not saying these people won't get a man, but
you won't get the man.
Just like me. If I'm lazy, I don't do no work, I didn't let myself go financially, right? Yeah. I let myself go financially, and I'm fucking with Keisha. Sorry, anyone whose name is Keisha, however you spell it.
And Mac.
And sorry for Mac, but we're trying to make things real. You know what I'm saying? So if I get with Keisha has 3 baby daddies, I shouldn't complain, because this is what I've worked for. Nothing. She has a bad attitude. She work at the local Piggly Wiggly. We attract. I'm not thinking that I'm getting someone on the next level. I may try.
Okay.
Dudes try to holler at you all the time, I'm sure. They're going to try, but then either eventually or at the onset, they're not going to get anywhere, correct? Right. Eventually, you're going to find them out. You and your homegirls, you're going to huddle. You're going to get in the group chat. You're going to put his number in there, his first and last name, his Instagram. They're all going to search it. You're going to go down to 2013 and find out he ain't shit. And that's just what's going to happen.
We don't have to wait until 2013, honey. We saw 2020.
Exactly. So he's going to get found out, like I said, either from the onset or at some point in time, you're going to find out he's not shit. So he's not going to get very far. But he understands that, hey, this is what I work for. This is what I got. So the woman who hasn't worked on any of these things, she will be complaining about how trash dudes are, because that's the type of dudes that she's attracting. Okay. And that's a stone cold fact. It hurts. And I get it. This may not be 100%. But I would have to. One would believe that has to be the majority. Okay. If you're giving that, what do you expect to come from it? You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I'm talking. This is all around. This is not just weight, kids, and age no more. We're talking about your personality, your attitude, your femininity, all of that, all of the stuff. All of the things. If you haven't worked to do nothing, just like me, if I don't work to do nothing, I get nothing.
That is true. And I think that's been my biggest takeaway so much. I keep writing down my notes. Like, it's about the work that you're willing to put in. You know, if you are willing to put in work and you see value in that area, then you will put in work. But unfortunately, I haven't seen many rewards for work not done. So There are none. I mean, now they're starting to get participation trophies, but that still leads to nothing. I heard about that. Everybody gets a trophy, but I tend to go on the Drake side. There's no trophies for that. There's no awards for that. And while you may get trophies in the smaller area, as you go up, there aren't any. You're not getting participation points because you showed up. Like, what did you contribute, right? And so when I think of the dating aspect and the things we can talk to men and women about, or what, because you asked me on for what men could talk to women about, and I said all three areas are perfectly fine. I believe it's all about what you say and how you say it. But I don't know how much time we have, but I did a little bit of research on my own, and I did want to stand up for the ladies.
Go ahead.
And at least tell you those areas that I discovered are harder to talk to men about. And ladies, if you know me and you've heard anything about my personal life, you know, number one is hygiene. I dated a man, and the hygiene was awful, and I had the hardest of time, and I got a bunch of pushback. And it led to me leaving Dentec kits around the house. It led to me leaving hints around the house because this person did not want to hear any of my feedback when it came to their hygiene, because they would say, well, you act like I don't know how to do such and such. And I'm like, no, you act like you don't know.
What was exactly wrong with, now, was it because I've dealt with maybe like someone with OCD. I mean, not my hygiene per se, but maybe I, leave a piece of paper right here, or I didn't wash my hands after I did this or whatever. What do you mean by hygiene?
Oh, I mean their personal hygiene, their persons.
We're talking deodorant.
We're talking
a little tongue scrubbing.
We're talking their person, from teeth to deodorant. I mean, who's viewing this live? No, I'm kidding. We're talking from, yes, he did have a, yeah, I know. Yeah, it was, yeah, y'all, yes, everything y'all are saying in the comments are accurate. It was tough, like hygiene, from plaque buildup to not necessarily keeping it fresh under the arms. And Chris,
where did this person work? Where did this person work?
I later found out that this person, I feel so awful. I later found out that this person did not have a job. I don't want to,
So, fellas, like I told y'all before, she offered a story where she holds all accountability. I mean, you can't, mind you, we didn't have rehearsal before this, nothing at all. She literally just proved my points. that y'all pick him, it'll be trash, and y'all will say this dude is trash. No shit.
I didn't say he was trash. I just said he needed to work on his hygiene. I think he had an amazing. No, I think he had an amazing character. I think he is amazing. I really do. I believe that. No,
where's he at? Where's he at?
At home, I reckon. I don't know.
Does he still have access to you, romantically?
We couldn't get to even romantic.
Wait. That's superficial or something, right? That's not something. What? Why couldn't you? You just said he was a nice person. You could get past all that.
Well, because romantically implies swapping some form of spit during the corona, and if you have plaque on your teeth, then we can't possibly do that, Christopher. So.
Again, you hold all accountability for picking this person.
And I have my list though. So hygiene, you dug into that, and that's an interesting story. But that's an interesting story. So hygiene, and secondly, how men respond to things that women call them out about, i.e., when they flip their phone over. Men don't want to talk about that.
Why should I talk about flipping? Keyword here. My phone over?
Because I'm just saying because a man wants to talk about my weight.
That's important. My phone being flipped upside down. Why is that even important? Which direction?
I'm just i.e. what I'm saying is i.e. strange behaviors. Men don't like to explain strange behaviors, don't like questions, don't want to answer questions, and that was just
why are you questioning me?
See?
No, I'm just asking why are you questioning me exactly?
The same way a man questions a woman's physical appearance.
I'm looking at you. I don't have to question it. I'm looking right at you.
There's so if I'm looking at you and I'm concerned about it, then that would bring me to a question.
What's the concern exactly?
I'm just saying. The concern, I'm just saying these are the things. You see how we're having a hard time talking about it?
No, we see men are more practical, factual. We want to know.
Women are more emotionally in tune. So all I'm saying, I just wanted to give you my things that men have a hard time. Like I said, I have my list. My little area. So hygiene was number one. Men do not want to discuss their personal hygiene with women and how they deal. And then I wanted to say how men respond to questions. Do not like that. And then my third one was how men court women who they are interested in. And that was it. Oh, and we have something in the comments, but I don't know if you want to address it because I didn't write that on my list.
Oh, penis size? And that's the problem there. All y'all care about is some dick.
And all y'all care about is how women look.
Some dick and some money. Yeah, but we're trying to keep y'all to have and to hold. For sickness and for health. Till death do us part. I would prefer you to be fit at least for this part of our life.
And this woman's about to be riding this from to death do her part. She'd prefer it.
No, what I'm saying, at least for the greater part of our lives. That's why we hope to do this stuff earlier than later. Because if let's say we both wait until we're 45 to get married. We don't have a lot of good. We're on the backside at this point. You know what I'm saying? At this point we might have more years before us than ahead of us. Especially good years where we can travel the world and have butt naked freaky sex all over the place. So that's why I'm saying we would like from the onset to be physical. I don't see a problem with that. A specific type of, I get it sounds like every man should just get a supermodel. No, I just mentioned a dude who has no job. If he gets whatever he can. And he has no problem with that. The same type of people attract the same type of people. That's just how it goes. It's very rare you see a total mismatch.
Okay. Well, those are my little three. The gallery has spoken, and the comments are going crazy.
Yes, as far as the questionnaire, I'm gonna say it for you about cheating or dealing with another woman or something. I mean, that's the whole phone upside down thing. I mean, What else is that?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? Mm-hmm.
No, I'm confused. You said in the comments.
No. Not in the comments. You said that a man flipping his phone down caused for questioning.
I feel like it's too soon. We just got into April and we just watched one of the biggest scandals about a bonnet and a helmet of salvation. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if we can go into cheating. It's so soon. I don't know.
I just wanted to know what, because you can't just say, oh, flipping his phone over, guys can't handle questioning.
Right.
That's not a valid reason to question.
It was my IE, like my example. Like if you flip the phone over, like why did you flip your phone over? And women and ladies, y'all can attest to this. Women are all about rhythm. We notice everything. And so if we're out to dinner for 6 months straight and your phone is sitting up and it lights up and you kind of just cut it off every so often, and month 10, you're no longer doing that and you're flipping your phone over, that's a question. And so that woman will ask a question based on why did that action then change? And you're looking at it like, why are you in my face about it? Are you being insecure? And it's like, no, it's just, I've watched you do a subset of things for a specific amount of time and it has been consistent and now all of a sudden has changed. So what has changed in you? And so that's what I was saying. When it comes to that, men think women are asking outlandish questions. No.
If you go looking for stuff, you'll find it. You know that, right? If everything, think about this scenario. Everything is going fine. We've been dating for 6-7 months. I'm your sexual match, financial match. I'm the right height. You've met my mother. She loves you. Everything is peaches and cream.
Right.
Why in the hell would you question somebody because now all of a sudden he's flipping his phone upside down? Do you know the type of rift that causes in your relationship for no reason? Meaning that he has not done anything to bring foolishness to your doorstep. Women seemingly try to stop and control everything that a man is doing to your detriment. Everything is fine. Now, obviously, if there's panties in his back seat, if he has lipstick on his shirt, if he's like things like, listen, if you can't tolerate cheating, have at it. Leave him and go deal with somebody else that has the option to cheat on you.
Because first and foremost, let's go ahead and be very clear. It doesn't, and this, we're completely segueing, which is fine. Like, it doesn't have to always be cheating. Sometimes a man is caught up in things that are external outside of cheating, but it's still something that they are tied to.
Like what? What is outside of cheating that would bother you?
OnlyFans addiction, spending your money on personal gambling on your phone, and you're draining the bank accounts. If the behavior changes, then that will raise a question. And so it's not always cheating. People think cheating is the pinnacle. Somebody drained my motherfucking bank account, we got a problem. And if you flipping over the phone and you got access to that, and once you weren't doing that and now you are, then there's a problem. So it's not always cheating.
So you mean to tell me that, and I promise you on everything I love, I've never heard of the flipping over the phone because anything other than cheating. Because he's scamming? He could be scamming? Yeah, you're seriously going to go on the record and say that a questionnaire is going to come up about, are you scamming or not, when I see that you're flipping your phone. Fellas, if a woman has asked you something, let me know in the comments below, either on YouTube or when I drop the snippet on Instagram, something. DM me. Let me, because I have never heard of that. I mean, ever.
So it could be
that is a farce and a reach.
I do believe the first thought could be it. And when we say cheating, what we really in cheating, and ladies, y'all help me out in the comments. Cheating can be that your heart or that your mind or your attention is elsewhere.
Has it been? Remember the scenario I gave you. Everything is going fine.
And I've seen men with everything going fine just bought his wife a Lambo and still cheating or elsewhere.
If you think about this though, if you don't know, let's say you're dating a man for 4 years. He proposed to you. You're about to get married.
Absolutely.
And he cheated 2 years ago. But you don't know about it. You don't know. You have no idea. Nothing has changed, whatever. He just cheated 2 years ago. But you never stressed him out because his phone is upside down or whatever type of weird things that we may do that seemingly strike a nerve to y'all, or some type of bell goes off. Uh-oh, nigga cheating. Let me go check it out. What sense does that? You never did that. So guess what? Guess what?
It's not a seemingly striking
Guess
thing.
what?
It's your consistency has become inconsistent.
You're now about to get married to whom you deem as the man of your dreams. You said yes. You said yes.
Absolutely. But
listen. Now you're married with 2 kids. You're in your career. He done bossed up in his law firm. He's made partner or something. I don't know. Everything is going well, but guess what? You never asked him, why did you flip over? Why you had your phone flipped over when y'all was at Olive Garden that night? You never asked. Everything was going fine. I'm not saying you shouldn't do these investigations. I'm just, as you said, giving another perspective. If you let a sleeping dog lay, leave it alone. Nothing's changed physically. He's not coming in at 7 in the morning from hanging out with his partners every night. He didn't do that. He didn't do none of that. He didn't do none of that. But some reason you're running to try. Hold on, this chick just liked 2 pictures in 2 days. Let me see who this is.
I think we have a really good question because we have something in the chat, and it is I am Sara J. She says, how do men feel when a female's behavior change? Everything is going well, but then now she's taking random trips and flipping over her phone. Y'all would question.
Now you see how she added stuff?
Flipping over
instead of her just saying flipping over the phone,
okay, flipping over the phone.
She added taking random trips so I can say, oh, nah, you taking it. Nah, I'm gonna check so she can seem right.
Okay,
added that.
Okay, let's rephrase the question. And now she's flipping over her phone. Y'all been married 10 years. Y'all been together 5 years. Never does it. And now she's flipping over her phone. Phone ringing off the charts. She starts wearing lingerie bra sets on her way to work. At the end of the day,
stop.
No.
Stop.
It's human nature. You
can't debate that way. If you're gonna compare apples to oranges, we can compare apples to oranges all night. You said we're comparing flipping over a phone compared to flipping over a phone. Not flipping over a phone compared to taking trips, wearing lingerie, calling you by some other dude name. Y'all are trying to trump it up so I can automatically say, yeah, I'm gonna check it out. No. If you said flipping over the phone causes an interrogation, so would I interrogate you for flipping your phone over, Sarah? No.
Okay.
Don't add nothing else.
Okay. So ladies, flip your phones over. You ain't flipped your phones over? Flip your phones over. DM me the response.
That's just tit for tat at that point.
No, because honestly,
that's being petty.
I think it's human nature. When you have been with a person for a significant amount of time and they do not do a certain thing, and now they start to do a certain thing, you will raise your brow and ask a question. But we do have someone in the we have I am Sade in the comments, and she wants you to answer it. Just answer the question. If the question was a question, you with a woman, she flipping her phone, taking her trips.
If she's taking unsolicited trips that I know nothing about, of course that's a racist trip. She said girls trips?
She said I'm taking a trip. I'm taking a trip.
Who's this?
On a trip? Well,
no. Who is this? Somebody I'm dating? Is this my wife? Is this my girlfriend? You're gonna have to put that in context.
This is somebody you would want to be your girlfriend. And you've been dating her for a significant amount of time.
She's not my girlfriend?
Not yet. You want to ask her.
She still has part ownership to the streets at this point. The streets has part ownership of this.
Okay, this is your girlfriend.
It's like a cosigner.
This is your girlfriend. This is your girlfriend.
It's my girlfriend, and she's taking random trips that I don't know anything about.
They're not random. She told you about the trips, but she's flipping her phone over, and now she's taking trips. She's like, oh, no, I got to go to trip, taking trips.
I don't think it would raise any suspicion at first. No,
Okay,
not
so say
that
for
I know
example,
of.
y'all out to
Flipping over the
dinner.
phone, definitely not. Flipping
Okay,
over the phone, definitely not.
flipping over the phone, ladies. So flipping over the phone is not gonna raise a brow.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, just flip. I'm just going for what you said. Flipping over the phone, nah.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, that shouldn't raise it. Listen, do you know why I flip over my phone when I'm on a date?
Tell us, enlighten us all.
Fellas, agree with me. I know it's probably all women in here right now, but agree with me in the YouTube comments. I flip over my phone because I want to give you my undivided attention. That's from Instagram. That's from Twitter, Snapchat. We have so many things that can go off on our phone. I have YouTube notifications for people I'm subscribed to that may pop up on my phone. It's going to light up. So now we're at a nice candlelit dinner and my phone is faced up and every second is lighting up, lighting. It may not go, I may have on vibrate, but it's lighting up, lighting up. To be honest, my phone's in my pocket. I don't know who's just having their phone up and just sit it there anyway. So my phone's in my pocket. How often do dudes really just have their phone out with it face down?
I've dated plenty of those. I've dated those.
If I come to your house, maybe I done got comfortable and sat down, taking off my shoes, taking stuff out my pants, stuff like that. That makes sense. But at a dinner table, phone's in my pocket. And if it is out, I'm flipping it up face down because I'm giving you my undivided. You see how that didn't even cross your mind of anything positive from a man flipping his phone over. It was automatically negative.
It wasn't automatically
from the door.
Negative, it was automatically concerning.
You just gave me two negative things. Unless these aren't negative, scamming and cheating.
No, I said that's concerning when a behavior changes. But you know what? I like that. So when I go on my date, I'll be sure to take my phone out and flip it over because
why would you take it out? Keep it in your purse.
I agree. There we go. So we keep phones in our purses, fellas.
Phones in your purse.
Boom. That's your dating tip for the week.
Thank you. So before we close out, I want you to let everybody know about everything you got going on with your podcast, Sincerely Shameless and all that. Go ahead and get your bars off.
All right, y'all. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you all for y'all's participation in the comments. Y'all have had me thoroughly weak. I have gained an ab from the belly laugh, so I love it. And if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, you can find me as Shameless with 2 O's. And I do have a podcast called Sincerely Shameless. It is where the relentless and the shameless thrive, and we just talk about topics as such as this, and they're a little bit more easier to swallow, a little bit more palatable. You know what I'm saying? Because Chris comes at it. He likes to knock us out, but that's cool. That's cool. We can take that too. And other than that, I'd like to believe I'm a socialite, but not necessarily because I'm actually active in the moment. So, yeah, that's it.
Good.
Sara J.
Perfect. Thank you for coming on. I'm going to go ahead and close out. If you want to hang out, you can hang out. If not, we'll see you soon. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. All right. That was Sara J. Thank y'all for being respectable. We had a guest, man. We had a guest. We made up the bed. Carpet is nice and vacuumed. Y'all was on your best behavior. I thank y'all. So as I close, that was good. That was good. So is the truth really offensive to women? Or does the truth just sound better from somebody else? Because think about it. If I was your doctor and I told you about your weight, the amount of kids you had, and your age, it wouldn't bother you as much because you went to the doctor. The doctor told you this. If I was your physical trainer and I told you about your weight. If I was a matchmaker and I told you about your age. This wouldn't be a problem at that point. But when it's a man trying to find a woman, it seems to be a problem. But I'm glad that Sara was able to come on, be my PR, and was able to add some color commentary to this whole ordeal. Chris Hall here. This has been the Chris Hall Show. Follow me, Chris Hall ATL on Instagram. If you don't click the link in the profile, just go into YouTube and just type the Chris Hall Show. It's going to pop up. Don't you worry. If you want a quicker way, follow me on Instagram. Click the profile, hit the Chris Hall Show. That's going to take you right where you need to be. Subscribe, 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 subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're alerted and notified when this content drops. We'll see y'all next time.